Elevensies, the late morning show with Lisa and Anton. I'm Anton.
I'm Lisa, and this is Skittle.
Again.
We don't know how long she'll stay, but I
She
think,
could be cute, or she might rip a hole in our faces.
Yes.
It's one of the two things. This happens. So
Thoughtful Thursday.
It's Thoughtful Thursday, and it's oh gosh, it's July 22nd. What does that mean?
Well,
Something happened.
This year, the sun moved in to Leo this morning, 10:30.
Oh, wow.
Now, some people seem to be a little confused. They're saying that it is the Capricorn full moon. Now, the moon definitely is in Capricorn now, but the full moon really isn't until tomorrow, and the moon will have moved into Aquarius.
Yes.
So we have to keep in mind that the moon is always full opposite the sun. So if the moon was full prior to the sun moving into Leo today,
then it would be Capricorn.
then it would be that Capricorn moon, Cancer sun. But the moon moved into, the sun moved into Leo.
Like
so
half an hour ago.
Hello, Brenda. So the moon is going to be Aquarius full moon this month. And we're also going to have an Aquarius full moon next month at 29 degrees because the full moon happens the day before the sun moves into Virgo.
Two of them.
Hi,
of
Kim.
them. Hello, Wendy. Thanks for joining us. Good morning to you.
So there's some really good energy today. It's a beautiful day.
I put my Leo shirt on.
Put his Leo shirt on.
It's all about me.
Today's a good day to try to get things prepared and accomplished and just, right? Because Capricorn moon does give you that groundedness and that responsibility and respect and, make a list kind of thing. And Leo definitely wants to get things done. Hi, Anita.
We do. We struggle sometimes, but we definitely want to get things done.
Are we done now? Are we done?
Oh, no, it's because I'm too loud, Sue. I'm obviously too disturbing.
I don't want her to put her tail in the candle or my coffee.
She's just so chuffing annoying. So good morning, Gilda, and good morning, Erin. Erin says your alert works better than my alarm clock.
Oh, that's funny.
It's only by virtue of the fact that we're actually on time today.
Good morning, Mike.
So more by luck than judgment.
Mike says, great reading from Anton last night.
Oh, well, thank you. I have no idea what we talked about. But
we did, in that hour and a half, we did 41 readings. But I love what kind of happens in a group setting like that.
Yeah.
The people who are meant to hear. So even if they don't get a card, they could get something from someone else's reading. Right. Now, will it be the same absolute personal thing? Not necessarily. Good morning, Carol. But they should be able to glean some sort of good news or, information that could be good that they could use.
I love the way, and it's funny because we were going to talk about this on Thoughtful Thursday, so everything sort of comes together. Isn't it amazing how that works? I love the way that when we do these things, there's always like an over theme or like a kind of common thread that comes up. That really is for the benefit of everybody who's brought their collective energy together there. It's just too much, isn't she?
Oh,
just
I got
calm down.
Her back foot, she's stomping me with her back foot in the chest, too.
That's lovely.
She's tiny, but even tiny cats have very pokey feet.
This one does. She's just mean.
All right.
Good morning, John.
And I've noticed this with my reading days, too. Like, I read on Fridays and Saturdays now, but I used to read, I always have read at least 2 days a week.
Right.
And, say we had 7 or 8 people come for half-hour readings. There'd be a theme there, too. You'd be turning over and you'd think, I've had these same 5 cards now.
What's going on?
Out of 10.
Going on?
I've got these same 5 cards out of 10. They're in different spots, but I've had this theme going today. So people could say, well, that's because those people were the ones being affected by the stars the way they are, or because they're creating an oversoul of information to spirit guide. Who knows how it works? But I think last night we had so many swords.
Oh, I
Right?
think there was indicative
We had
that
like
people are going through a lot of
5 or 6 times we had the
struggles,
Five of Swords,
The
which
Five
is
of
struggle.
Swords was probably the theme card. I
And
think,
Mike
that came
had
up so
popped
much.
his head out the door. Michael
Morning,
was
Pam.
reading yesterday. And Michael popped his head out the door to see us reading the Five of Swords, and he said,
I can't believe how many times this came up.
he said,
today.
I've had that card come up at least twice today, too.
It's like,
So,
what the hell,
yeah.
It's just, but I think, given reading your taroscopes and saying what was going on and how things should start to ease a little bit.
Now that the sun
we're
has
moving
moved on
into Leo.
we're out of Cancer, into Leo, you're going to see a shift.
It's an emotionally tough time for a lot of people, I think. And I think that's where we got to.
First 2-3 weeks of July. Holy crap.
It was slightly insane, wasn't it? It was just
a lot of
not
pressure,
cohesive energies, very
very difficult to bring together.
very abrasive energies, I think is the word I want to say. Where things just grated on things. Grated. This is like grind and grate would be the way I would describe that. The things just weren't flowing smoothly. There was a lot of jarring and banging and bouncing and all that sort of stuff.
And
Good morning, Pam.
difficult for people to keep a straight head.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
If you can keep your head, young man, when those around you are losing theirs. And all that fun stuff. Are we keeping you up?
Yeah, I haven't had enough coffee. All right.
It's 11 o'clock, woman. What's the matter with you?
So Thoughtful Thursdays. Today we kind of thought we'd talk about perspective.
Well, yeah, thinking about the way we think. Why not?
And, I'm going to start with my mom's old saying, right? And this is kind of how she got us to think about things differently. If something happened and you were like, rah, 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 she'd say, well, depends on how you look at things, said the spider to the fly.
Well, I suppose so, yeah.
Then you thought about it and you thought, oh yeah, the fly is losing his life, but the spider's gaining a dinner. So I mean, I know that's kind of brutal, but perspective really is important. How you look at something. Isn't there an Eastern philosophy that says not to get too attached to things, right? Like this beautiful mug. Well, the beautiful mug is already broken. It's going to break at some point. So why be upset about it when it does?
That's that concept of serene acceptance.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, I think, particularly for us of a Western upbringing, because we are far more, I don't want to necessarily say materialistic, but stuff seems to matter more. It's just
weird.
My voice annoys her. Apparently I annoy Skittle, so well, there you go. But yeah, no, we get attached to stuff. We get attached to things, and it's all about, if I had that thing and I want that thing. And it's hard to realize, but it really is true that the best things in life aren't actually things.
And I'm not saying that you should live in a negative space where you think everything is already crap, so what's the point?
Oh, yeah. Now that's going the other extreme.
I didn't say that, the mug is already broken for that reason. I'm saying that sometimes we do get hung up on things that aren't as
important
or horrible as we think. Things are replaceable.
They are. They are.
And I think perspective is kind of a way of training our mind to replace negative energy with a positive thought. Even if that positive thought is going to provoke work.
Well, work is necessary generally to resolve things, isn't it? And for growth, there is generally some work involved.
Right,
there.
like
you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to break that shell around the seed.
Some people get very caught up in their problems.
Oh yeah.
And they focus on the problems, and the problems grow.
And the problems become what define them.
And they think, there's this. I'm standing in front of this elephant's leg, and I can't move forward. The elephant is blocking me. Oh my God, this problem. Oh, and then they start to realize there's a whole big entire elephant attached to the elephant's leg that's now blocking them. But the person who's only seeing the problems doesn't see the positive aspect of the challenge of getting over, around, through, under, or defeating.
It's just a jump to the left.
Right?
And a step to the right. You can walk
Karen.
around it.
So, yeah, I mean, or you could, take the problem and just chip away at it.
You could
and
do
eventually, you knock the leg off and you knock the other leg off and you
don't recommend that with elephants.
Climb over. No,
nice.
I'm not. I'm saying
lovely.
that instead of magnifying a problem,
I know what you're saying.
Chip away at it. And that's that challenge of figuring out, how am I going to do this? Becoming overwhelmed, becoming tsunamied, taken under the, you can't accomplish anything. So if you change your perspective and think, all right, this is a big ass problem. I recognize that. How am I going to defeat it? That attitude, how? So you kind of go through your journalistic things. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. You fill all that in, and the problem is less of a problem.
Well, it is the divide and conquer scenario there, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the enormity of the task, you can be easily overwhelmed and get to the point where it's just, it's so pointless, I can't possibly get around this. I'm just going to put my head in my hands and cry into my beer or whatever, And that's not fixing the problem. That's not fixing the problem. Fixing the problem is analyze it, look at it. How can I break it down into manageable tasks? Let's attack this one. And you know what? The stress that you're feeling from the inaction suddenly evaporates because you're actually acting to resolve the issue.
Marianne says, this is me, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, you've got to work on it. Come on, let's talk about what we're talking about. Perspective, isn't it? Yeah, Pam was saying, you'll read your own notes. Mind your own channel. Mind your own channel. That's it. Yeah, no, Pam was saying that she thought the energies were all foobarred.
There's a great shift coming this week. So
and that I think Leos are inherently optimistic. I think there is that
a little crazy, but yes.
Oh yeah, we are completely crazy. I sing the song to my people. I know. I know. I'm a fully paid up member of the Lunatic Fringe. I accept that. I honour that. I respect it. But yeah, there is that kind of inherent optimism, and that optimism means, hey, maybe there's a way around this. Maybe there's a solution. Maybe you haven't got a bloody clue what it is right now, but there's a way around.
So now you've taken on the challenge. You recognize there's a problem. You've been really hurt during all of that process, and then you get to the other side of the problem, and then I hear people say things like, that triggered me, oh my god, okay, well, so instead of now falling backwards into the same problem, think about, wait a minute, I still have a spot that's not healed.
Yep, something not yet
resolved. I obviously have something that isn't really finished.
You have to look at yourself.
Right.
Not horribly critically. Let's be quite clear about this.
But why am I still letting this bother me? Right?
Erin says people are a little trigger happy. Some are, Erin. Some definitely are.
Yeah, but then you've got to have your process to either have a shield or not have that wound for them to pour salt into, I mean, I know that sometimes people lay awake at night reliving the problem that they've already lived through.
Yeah, we're past it, but we're still,
you're still
we're doing the reruns.
So time to let that be revealed to you. If you're still replaying the last challenge, then you really haven't healed from it.
Yeah, unless you're working on how can I have made that better? How can I have made that better? Just re-experiencing the pain, like you're watching that horrific movie again and again and again and again, and just amplifying the feeling of angst and distraught emotions within you is not helpful. It's not. You need to go within a little bit and say, okay, here's something I need to work on, the way I perceive that, the way I perceive that. And coming back to Skip again, what jars you is important. To pay attention to that. You know, there's a key there. There's a key, you know, if you're prepared to get it. Gosh, lots of people are throwing in lovely comments in today. So
Okay.
we'll revisit those, but I know you'll keep going. I'm loving this.
Oh, okay.
I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
Rejection.
Ah,
That's another big,
isn't it?
negative thing.
Oh, isn't it?
You know,
That's a big thing. Actually.
I didn't get the job, they picked somebody else. Or I invited people, they didn't come.
I feel disenfranchised at work.
Yeah, I don't have a title yet. Or
nobody values me.
You know, I was dating this person and they ghosted me or whatever.
Yeah, everything was going fine, and then that was just it. Now they won't talk to me.
So instead of wallowing in that, take the kind of lesson from that rejection, or the lesson from what you might perceive as a failure, right? I failed the relationship, so they ghosted me. Or I failed and they fired me from that job, or whatever it is. Oh yes, somebody was running up the hall. Do you need to go see?
Calm down. The terrible twins are moving furniture again.
Yeah. Charlotte and her brother, Emmett, who we call Dammit. Yeah. So anyway, see the lesson in that failure. Okay. Do you think that it was something you said or did? Have you experienced that same rejection before? Like, do you start relationships and get ghosted all the time? Is it something that, you know, are you maybe not seeing the lesson in being overly attached too quickly, or, you know, smothering somebody? Or I'm not saying that it's always your fault if you fail at something. Sometimes you meet some pretty crappy people. But if there's a pattern, look at the pattern. And what happens right before the ghosting, right? Or do you allow people to take advantage of you, right?
That is true
at
too.
Work, you know, you let somebody else take credit for your ideas. You let somebody else take credit for your work. You know, you just do your job. And
I'm going to say that that may be fear of rejection, so that you don't actually claim what is rightfully yours, simply because I don't want to cause a wave here. I don't, because people will dislike me. Right. The main issue is do you hold yourself with enough self-respect there? Have you are you truly honoring yourself? And I mean, not to go deep into the deep end with this, but the acceptance by peers is such an important thing for us. I mean, in the basic pyramid of human needs, it's just above, heat and warmth, shelter and food, acceptance by peers, because we can't do everything ourselves. We recognize that. We are a congregate communal animal. We will work with each other to support one another. Very, very, very few people have the capability to be a complete loner and just work entirely by themselves in isolation from everybody, take themselves off into the wooden sod humanity. I mean, it's an appealing thought sometimes, but most people need, I can't change my own whatever. I've got to get somebody in to do that. I've got, skills, and we benefit one another.
Let the rejection and the failure be the lesson.
Redirect you.
Yeah.
Redirect
Let
where
it
you're
be the lesson.
looking at.
I'm not going to do that again. I found a better way. I've learned. I've got a lesson.
Well, why did it occur?
And let those fears teach the lessons, right? Here I am at this pit again.
Fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection. But you know what? I know I can jump it. I just have to remember the lesson that I learned in order to give me the energy to jump that pit.
There's some fantastic stuff. But it all starts with, and it really does boil down to perspective, how you look at things. It does. What it all comes down to is perspective. But perspective is like how you see things, how you perceive things, And you see from where you're standing. And if you're standing in a place of pain and hurt, that's kind of how you're going to see things, from a place of pain and hurt, serene acceptance is the very, very first part of resolving any issue. Denial ain't going to fix it, Ignoring it, or trampling it down, or trying to repress your emotions and locking stuff away inside, ain't going to fix it. That ain't going to fix it at all. In fact, it becomes like the disenfranchised employee who's so desperate to be heard, they pour coffee in the photocopier, Any attention is better than no attention at all. Got to be heard, So So you've got emotions coming up and boiling up and taking hold of things, and you start behaving in a way that isn't appropriate. Yes, self-sabotage, for example. So learning how you
fulfilling
work.
the prophecy.
Yes, you become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You do. Learning how you work, learning how you're wired, so to speak, learning your strengths and your vulnerabilities is hugely important, because it's like you weren't born with an operator's manual, and not everybody's wiring's the same. I will tell you, you can't just go, oh, I've read the book on that, I got that nailed. You don't. Learning you is a life lesson. Mm-hmm. It really is, and it takes practice and it takes commitment, just like learning the piano, if you will. Nobody's born a concert pianist. They're just not. Nobody's born an expert in managing themselves.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Nessa.
So learning that is hugely important. And that's, how you see yourself, Are you seeing yourself as, I'm coming at this, I'm going to do the absolute right, the best I can by this person because they're my absolute best friend and they mean the world to me. That should be you. You should be your absolute best friend.
You'd be your own best friend. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you mean the world to you, you will do so much better by yourself.
She says yes, an accurate diagnosis is key to fixing the actual problem. Good morning.
It is. Yes. Denial does not work.
No, it just perpetuates.
It does not work.
So I think this has been a great Thoughtful Thursday.
Oh, I love Thoughtful Thursdays.
I might go back and rewatch this one because I'm still learning some lessons too.
Oh, me too. I'm such a work in progress. But that's also something else is, if you're nurturing somebody, if you're teaching somebody a new skill, if you're working with a friend to achieve something, oh no, I spilt the paint. It's okay, we'll mop it up, we'll start over. Nurture yourself. Don't go, oh, you stupid fool, and kick your own ass.
Right. Yeah, have
that's
a little
not
patience
helpful.
with you.
Allow yourself that opportunity to. It's part of the process. We learn by our mistakes, so don't get all hung up on it. Just learn the lesson from it, and that will help you. This is what we love doing, by the way. We love this.
We love just talking.
Oh, God, yeah, me particularly.
Yes, I know.
Gosh, what have we got there? All about people's emotions. I think I'll let other people read them. I don't think we need to.
All right. So good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Nessa. Good morning, Melanie. And time for card of the day, I think.
It is. I don't know. I think everybody's been phoning so
The phone has been going for over an hour.
What is our card of the day? Talk about nurture. What a card. This just sums it all up. It's the Empress. This is... Look, we have a heart and we have Venus in the heart. We've got this, the need for nurture, and fertility through nurture. And look, there's a beautiful wheat field, barley field here, cornfield, barley corn, in front of us. So I see this as, today's a good card. You get great results with nurture today, I think. What do you think? What would be your...
Because of the pomegranates on her dress, I kind of see this as the movement forward of Persephone, right? Like Persephone, who has that balance of darkness and light. So the reading I would give for today is, you may be shown something that you perceive as a dark part of you, that if you think about what we've talked about, you could turn into something useful or light.
See, that sums up everything we've been talking about.
Today's card, I think, Persephone says, check your perspective.
Yeah, what you perceive to be, or have previously perceived to be something you really don't appreciate about yourself, and sooner cut it off and throw it in a box. Bring it to the light. Bring it to the light and realize that you can't have half a coin, The coin has another side. It has another face, yeah? It's all part of the same coin.
We would also love it if, as exchange of energy for our talk today, you shared Celtica.org with a couple of friends.
Do tell
We're
them.
really, really coming to a place where we'd like to get in front of some people. So we have to find people who know people. So somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, and we're doing our best. But if you just shared Celtica.org with a couple of people
that would be
who might be interested, that would be a fantastic exchange of energy.
Would be. from the readings last night, thank you everybody who gave us super chats. It's very helpful. That's going to go in the fund as well.
Yep.
So, all in all, it's a good day.
Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy the light.
Yep. Moving into light, moving into good stuff, you know. Leo's very preparatory, getting stuff done. So get it together.
Prepare and conquer.
Gear done.
That's us
all right.
for today.
Thank you so very much for watching.
Have a wonderful Thursday.
Yes, indeed.
Be
Have
thoughtful.
a beautiful, beautiful day.
Peace.
And think about how you think. Yeah. Do remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you probably tomorrow, I think. I think we've got too much to do to be back on.